Da-da-da.
And we are live.
And we are live.
Hello to everybody in the chat so far. A few people in the house I see, which is lovely. Thanks for joining us. And thank you to my amazing guests that you can see on the screen here, all these beautiful faces. I think we'd make a lovely pop group between us. We've got, I just want to sort of get the admin out. Just want to get the admin out of the way first, get the boring stuff out of the way, and then we'll have some fun. So firstly, I've seen a couple of donations in the chat. Thank you so much for those donations, and you will be put into the hat for a £50 worldwide giveaway. I will pay that money via PayPal. We've got Tara in the house. Let me just get...
Hey, it's Hills.
Hey, Hills. Right, so yes, we'll just get the admin out of the way. So I will donate that £50 worldwide to one lucky winner. The money needs to be donated to my Just Giving page, and the link is in the description of the video. I will also be dropping it into the chat fairly often. If you'd like it while we talk, let me know. You just need to donate as little as £5 or €5 or $5, depending on where you are in the world. So I've dropped that link into the chat. So if you'd like to donate, just do that from there. It's for a good cause. It is for Make-A-Wish, who do wonderful things for ill and disabled children and people that are from not so privileged backgrounds. So this time of year, that means a lot to me. It really genuinely does. There is one person that has a small story, and I'm going to put her right on the spot with this before we start. Hillorie, you know of Make-A-Wish.
I do, yeah. My little
would you like to
sister. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my little sister was born with half of a heart. She only has one atrium and one ventricle, and all of her abdominal organs are in the wrong places. So they had to surgically make her a digestive tract, and obviously she's had heart surgeries her whole life. So a few years ago, Make-A-Wish sent my family to Ireland for a trip, and like literally just took care of everything. And yeah. That's it.
Yeah, which is lovely. I think, as you said, it's all expenses. Thank you, Hillorie. All expenses paid for, etc. So,
yeah, they gave them money for food, like to go shopping on. They got all kinds of extra special things, like even the airlines, moved them up to like first class, and yeah, so it was really, really nice. They took care of everything.
Excellent. Right, so again, thanks to everyone for joining me. As you can see, we have Nigel from 2 Cents Worth.
Hello.
We have Tara from Olfactofiles.
Hi.
We have Clémence from Clémence CC Fragrance.
Hello.
We have Hillorie from the BurrEAU Nerdy Fragrance Reviews, and we have Brandon from the Vinci Alchemyst, and we have Claire Smurfygurly, and we have Barry from Scentualise. So thank you everyone for joining us. So yes, please do give generously, and I will keep a running total as we go through the stream and let you know how we're getting on with it. Shall we move on to the first question? Should we get into it?
Go for it. Yeah.
Let's get going then. Right. So
we've got question
one. We've got questions, Nigel. We have. Did you not get the memo?
Troublemaker.
Fire.
Right, question one is best Instagram or your favorite Instagram accounts for this year. So Nigel, you're up first.
Great. Okay, this is quite tough actually. Quite a lot of good Instagram accounts that I follow, but the three I've plummeted for are Susie's Niche Fragrance Reviews. Now, she is a fantastic photographer, and when she writes a review, it's like poetry. So if you're not following Susie's Niche Fragrance Reviews, I would highly recommend you do. Fragrance Weirdo, Dan. Now he's just an all-out, genuine guy, and he'll just tell you how it is. And his collection is to die for, really is. So it's another great one. And I couldn't do Instagram without mentioning our John. Come on, he is Mr. UK Instagram scented snowdrops. What a great guy, a great pillar of the community. And they're my three. Over to you, Tara.
All right. So I also picked Scented Snowdrops, John, and you said it very, very well. He's fantastic. I love all his videos that he posts on Instagram as well. And then the one I feel like that it's a newer account this year, but I'm really impressed with is Little Perfume Geek. And she's the one that paints watercolors of all the different perfumes, and she shows her process, and it's beautiful. I love her videos that she posts, but also just she does a lot of beautiful photos of her paintings with the actual bottle, and it's gorgeous. So Little Perfume Geek has very much impressed me this year.
Excellent. I've seen both. Yeah, excellent. Great choices. Yeah, your choice. Your turn. Come on.
Okay. Well, I wanted also to say John, but I think there's too many anyway. So I'm gonna say, for me, Instafrag Head is doing amazing shot with like amazing quality, and he's got like a list of fragrance that is incredible. He does top lists with those amazing pictures, so I love the layout. Also, I've got I never know how to say it, so forgive me for that, but it's Serge Ross that I really like because he does those pictures and there's a caption directly on the picture, and I think they're always so smart and so funny, so I love him. And I would say the last one, and she's not on the live today, but she's part of the group, is Sally Marion from Big Night Show. So I really love her layout because she's a bit the same style as me, a bit vintage as well. So I really like what she does. I think it looks really beautiful.
Excellent. Thank you, Clémence.
Nice picks.
That's not lovely picks. Let's move on to Hillorie.
So I was actually going to say Clémence. Her all of her pictures are so pretty, and like with all of the pretty like art and stuff in the background, and she does a lot of those video clips. I don't even know how to do that with the transitions and stuff, and it's just so nice and well done. And I'm always like, I want to be cool, but you know. So yeah.
Oh my god, that is so lovely. Thank you.
That was all right, weren't it? Not too bad.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh.
Let's move on to Brandon then.
Well, so this was kind of hard for me because I don't lately. I haven't really been able to spend a lot of time on Instagram. I try to post as much as I can, but sometimes I go in spurts of like I don't post for weeks, and then I'll just do nonstop every day. I don't have a lot of time to look a lot, but basically for me, two that really stand out, like the photography that they put on, is Marcus Abram. He takes great photos, and just like his content in general, and his descriptions of the fragrances, it's amazing stuff. And the way he does like sketches and stuff like that, I think those are really great. Chris from Fragmental, he really does a lot of really cool photos too. That, you know, a lot of that makes it into his videos, but so it's nice to see that. But definitely my major choice was going to be John, was Scented Snowdrops, because just how glue-like John is when it comes to, you know, Fragcom, as far as bringing people together and mentioning other people. I mean, I wouldn't have half of the people I think on my Instagram had it not been for like John's mentioning. He kind of started that. I know a lot of you guys do that like new account Wednesdays, I think it is, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So it's yeah, exactly. So that seems like that kind of, he's got this nice ball rolling with that. And I think that John does a really good job with that as well. And it seems, you know, I don't know if he spearheaded it or not, but you know, he's the first person that I saw to do that. So on to you, Claire.
Hello. Well, I was not going to say John, only because I knew you lot would already have it covered. So I have gone for Irma, who has L'Amour de Parfums. She posts the most beautiful pictures. I'll type them in the live chat. And then Travel Sensibilities, Sonia, because she's on top of everything new. So I always look at her page because she's on the ball and you find out all the new stuff. And then my old favourite, my comfortable favourite Insta is Tracy from Comfort Incense. She posts the most lovely setups, perfumes, body products, cakes, cups of tea in lovely china, very sort of shabby chic, retro, but very comforting. So I really love that one. And that's it.
Good.
Excellent. Thanks, Claire. Barry, on to you.
Yeah, I've only got 12 to mention.
Good night.
I'll sit back and get comfortable.
Well, I'd save somebody else waffling, doesn't it, Tone? Right. Prime Photography 1976.
Okay.
That's my first one. If you haven't seen some of his photos, absolutely spot on. They are brilliant. Second one, Questioning Sense. Have you seen any of Questioning Sense pictures, especially like early morning photos around London? Absolutely stunning. And the last one I wanted to mention, I was going to mention Mr. Clone 76, John, but I knew everybody else would mention John and Marcus, but someone's already mentioned Marcus. But there's a guy called Caesar Scent, and it's Ernie, and he's a barber, and he does a lot of live reels and live videos on Instagram, and his reviews are absolutely spot on, really worth checking out. And that's all that I'm going to mention.
Thank you, Barry. Lovely counts. Now, I won't waffle, thank you very much. But I am cheating. I'm going to mention a few just very, very quickly. Scented Snowdrops, we've all mentioned him. I had him on my list. So I didn't play the cards that Claire did. She just doesn't like him.
He's going to be so big-headed after that. My God.
We have another account he's just joined the room. And he's doing wonderful, wonderful things on Instagram. Very, very polite, lovely, well-spoken, real gentleman in the community. And that is Brian from Nose Notes. So he is fantastic, great photography, all round an absolute gent. So and very, very generous, like I said. And Brian has also donated to the stream. So thank you, Brian. I would like to mention, a bit quicker, Mr. Cologne for obvious reasons. I'd also like to mention Sam the Scent. Sam's a great guy from the UK, really lovely fellow. And Lance from Olfactofiles. I don't know if anyone's seen his account, but fantastic guy. He's again from the UK. Photography's on point. So I one more, and it's only because I'll get told off otherwise, and that's Predicted Snaps. So
oh my God, look at this.
Might get killed if I don't mention that.
Who's that, Tony?
I agree, though.
I've never heard of her.
Happy wife, happy
Shall
life.
we move on to question 2 before I waffle too long?
Come on.
Question
let's
2
go.
is your most worn fragrances of the year. Nigel, you're up.
This is a weird one for me because I've got 2 fragrances here, and neither are anywhere near the top of my favourite list. Now, the first one I'm going to say I've mostly worn is Dylan Blue by Versace. Now, the only reason that is got mostly worn is because I keep it in the bathroom. So every time I'm on a shower, I spray it on after a shower. So that's why that bottle is nearly empty. But rest assured, me and Dylan Blue are going our separate ways when that bottle is empty. I'm a little bit old in the tooth for Dylan Blue, I think, but it's nearly gone. And the other one I've worn, and it's mainly because I spend the majority of my time at work. So my main work scent is Mount Blanc Explorer. So they are the 2 that I wear probably the most. Not my favorite, but they are the ones I reach for the most.
Nice.
Over to you, Tora.
Very nice. The one that probably I've worn the most throughout the whole year this year is Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure, and I just like spray it liberally, especially because these showed up at the at Estee Lauder outlet store half off. And I was like, well, now that it's half off, I'm just going to use it as much as I want. But you know, it's like this delicious, like cherry, boozy, almond kind of thing going on. There's like a little bit of vanilla in there. I love it. Doesn't last a super long time, but Hillorie taught me that if you layer it with Baccarat Rouge 540, it makes it last quite a bit longer. And so that's really nice. And then over the last, I don't know, 2-3 months, and you guys already know which one it is, but the one that I've worn a ton the last 2 or 3 months is Kilian's Angel Share. Like you can see.
Big dent.
Yeah, I put a lot. I put a big dent in it. I'm going to need another bottle before too long. But this one's just delicious. You know, that cognac, oak, vanilla, cinnamon, dried fruits, nuttiness. It's so good. It's like you know, we've been at home. And so I sprayed on and it's like warming and cozy and you can smell it all day long. It's fantastic. Love it.
Beautiful scent.
Yeah. All right. On to you, Clémence.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm very jealous. Second, the first one that I really wore a lot, and it's probably like matching Nigel. It's not one of my favorite scents, but it's my easy pick for the day, and that's London by Burberry. It's a very easy solar jasmine scent for women, so very easy to pull on. So whenever I don't know what to wear, I just spray that, so very easy. Second one will be from L'Orchestre Parfum, and it's Piano Santal. It's a sandalwood scent, very creamy, and it's also very, very milky. So I absolutely adore that, and I wear that constantly. And the third one is obviously one of my favorite fragrances. I did talk about it too much, and it's Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So the best of the amber fragrance for me. It does have that gentleman vibe that I always love in my fragrances as well. And it's just so rich, so warm, and a bit like sultry. I absolutely love that. So yeah, that's my 3 scents. Hey, Hillorie.
She's gone.
She's gone.
We'll skip to me. She boned out the room real quick. So,
I don't like my scent.
Basically, like
offended by Francois.
I would say that just purely because I wear this every Sunday for Seattle Seahawks football games. That's Herod from Parfums de Marly. I'd say that one I wear the most, as well as Dior Homme Intense. I'll wear that right before bed frequently because the Oris just calms me down and mellows me out, so it helps me to kind of get ready for sleep. So I'd say that those two are the ones that I've worn most this year. I'm gonna jump back to Hillorie.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
My kid needed his
fine.
sports snack.
Don't worry.
So okay, my most worn are Amouage Love Tuberose. This is like a really, really nice whipped cream vanilla tuberose. It's like, honestly, it's probably my favorite tuberose out there. It's just really sweet and yummy and not normally something I would go for, but I kind of just can't stop wearing it. Enchanted Forest by Vagabond Prince. This is like the ultimate blackcurrant fragrance. Everything from the berries to the stems, plus like pine needles on the ground, and it's wonderful. Oh, and Weinstrass from Chatillon Luxe. This is like it's supposed to be a reimagined fougere. So instead of like using lavender, they use white grape, and it's very earthy and like honey. There's like a tobacco-y kind of hay kind of vibe in here as well. And it's just really relaxing, and I like to wear this to bed. So, yeah.
Great job. That's Claire. Thanks.
Sorry,
Hillorie.
I was distracted. My most worn, I've picked out 3. Actually, I have got 3. So earlier in the year, I got through 50 mils of Labelle. I got through a 50 mil, and then I also got through that much. So I wore that a lot earlier on in the year. It's pear, vanilla, sticky sweet. I call it my guilty pleasure. It's very easy, very simple, but really addictive. And then later on in the year, much later in the year, I got Bukhara off of Galavan, which is a musky iris scent mostly, with a little bit of spice and a little bit of floral. But I absolutely love it. It's really unique. There's nothing like it, but I just absolutely love it. So I wore that a lot. And then finally, I'm wearing various renditions of Misty or Sherry mostly, and it's just an easy reach. It's kind of a little bit fresh, it's a little bit floral, it's a little bit musky, and it's just one of those I just feel comfortable wearing, chucking on, and just you smell good, and you enjoy how you smell. It's kind of fun and uplifting, so I'm going for those a lot. That's it.
Thank you, Claire. Barry, on to you.
Right, my first one is a horror signature one. This is my signature scent, and I'm wearing it all the time.
Great
it's
choice.
Fougere-like, but it takes you on a great journey when you wear it. Really enjoy it. Wouldn't be a list without a Guerlain in there. And this is the L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. So this is cherry, almond, leather. Absolutely gorgeous. Anybody that hasn't tried it, you ought to get your nose on that. And one which I picked up not long before Christmas, probably November time, and I've been wearing it quite a bit, is Pasha de Cartier, the Eau de Parfum. This is boozy, it's woody, it's ambery, it's really nice, and it just keeps drawing me in all the time. Really love it. That's it.
Nice.
I feel like those bottles are just interestingly shaped. Just gonna get it out there. Sorry.
Oh God.
Just, I don't know about the Pasha Cartier.
It's like your Arish bottle.
little bits. Barry, be good.
Oh wow.
Well, the bottle disappeared quick. Right, let's.
Next one is Perialis Red.
That's mine, Barry. Right. Right, my favourites, I'm going to whiz through mine quickly, are Vanitas from Parfum and Roman. I've got, actually haven't got a full bottle, so I'm cheating. I've got a little sort of oil roll-on that I got when I bought my full bottle of Dolce & Fundo. And it is like oil, so a little goes a long way. And I carry it to work with me in my pocket. So, and it literally, I just keep going to it and put a little bit on my hand, on my wrist, and I just find it so addictive. So I've worn a lot of that. I've also worn, as well, again, you can see a little bit of a dent in the top of that. I am really enjoying that and wear that often. And lastly, it's pretty obvious, really. And again, quite a big dent out of that, the Chronic. So they're the ones I've been wearing the most this year.
Yeah, I feel like Barry. How big was that? Was that Zaharoff? How big was the Zaharoff, Barry? Is that like 100 ml?
It's isn't it a 120?
It's 4 ounces, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
a
huge chunk out of that. Did you just like bathe in that?
Yeah, to be fair, I have decanted a couple of bits as well.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say that's huge amount taken out. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Right, let's move on to the next question. So this is from John Snow, this question. So thank you, John, for submitting this to me. And oh no. So this year has been the year of the influencer. There's been lots of fragrances released. And I would like to ask you, what has been your favorite release from a fragrance reviewer? Nigel.
Well, this was quite easy for me because I've only smelt one.
Oh, perfect.
That Gravitas pour on. I've not smelt anybody else. Who else? I mean, who else has? I mean, I've not smelt Ashton's. I've not smelt Big Beard's. Who else is it? Chris hasn't released his yet.
Well,
So,
there's
anyway.
no. I can't see. No.
So to me, this is a fantastic release, and I got a feeling you're going to be seeing this bottle quite a bit tonight, not just from me. So Gravitas pour on for me.
I also have that one. And I do think, I do think that it's fantastic fragrance. I would prefer, although I do wear it sometimes, I would prefer it on a man as opposed to on myself, but I do really like it, especially the dry down with the vanilla. So I think that's a great one. But just recently, Brandon Hills and I and a few other people did a live stream where we sampled the Ashton's Galleria parfums. And today, my scent of the day is Shades of Seduction, which has like some lavender in it. There's like some spice in here, some kind of like patchouli, vanilla, a little bit of woodiness in there. But that's my favorite from his line currently. Now I need to try them out more, but I think that one was a pretty good release. So Shades of Seduction.
Well, that's my turn. So for me, ta-da! Attention, what a surprise! Ta-da! I love Gravitas. No, but honestly, I really like anything vintage and anything like that. I wear a lot of gentleman vintage kind of scent, and this is for me really nice gentleman scent, a bit modernized. But I wanted to talk about another one, and it's from the YouTuber Redolescent, so Steven. He's got his, his brand is Navitus Parfum. I do have a lot of Navitus Parfum at home, actually. I've got like 4 or 5 or something. There's one that's been released this year, if I'm correct, and it's called Arcanum. Arcanum is like there's a lot of wood, but there's a bit of some exotism in Arcanum with like a bit of coconut. So it's very intense, very dark, very sexy. It's got projecting a lot. It's a lot of smokiness. And I think it's such a fantastic fragrance. If you want to leave a great impression, it's quite warm and there's a bit of sweetness as well. It's absolutely stunning. And I do wear that a lot, especially when I'm going out or for an evening or stuff like that. It's really beautiful. So I highly recommend you to try.
That is a good one. I've got that one too. I like that.
Hillorie.
Hi. I think I might be the only person who hasn't smelled the Gravitas yet. But so this technically came out in 2019, I think, but he launched the shop like at the end of December. So I have Proxima from Centaur, and this just smells like a fizzy energy drink to me. It's so good. And then also I did really like Victorian Tobacco from Ashton. That's a great idea, Betty. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I also really enjoyed Victorian Tobacco from Ashton's line. It was very earthy and dry and does not include raspberries in the garbage can.
That's the best. That's the best accord ever. Raspberries in the garbage can.
Yeah. He's gone through multiple cartons of raspberries since we've been home this afternoon. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's taking fruit. So.
Why?
Well, so I would say, honestly, I've smelled quite a few of the different reviewers' fragrances that they've put out. And quite a few of them are really, really good. I think the one, though, that most resonated with me, and I dare to say that that he wouldn't call himself an influencer, and that would be, oh, Bucket, don't you dare. Sorry, dog almost knocked over my drink. But I would say it was B. Peter from Fragrance View, his Centaur line. The whole thing, for whatever reason, just really vibes with me. Like I have a bottle of all 3 of the ones that he released. I know he just did a new release recently, and I have a sample, but I do not have the full bottle. But that one for me, that line, the Centaur line, definitely just super resonates with me on a personal level. So I'm all about that one. It's my choice.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Can't wait to try it.
Fantastic
Actually.
choice. And what a lovely guy. Peter's just joined the chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter.
Over to you.
Just talking about you, casually.
Well, I did go for Peter as well. I've got Dendera. That's my favourite. Rich, spicy, incensey. And I think with Peter, what I love is that he's put his heart and soul into the line, put his life savings on the line. And he made the bottles, or he had the bottles made himself. He's done everything himself. He wrote the theme tune, he sung the theme tune, and he's done an amazing job. So I really, really love Dendera. I have got one other though, and this is it kind of fits the profile, but it might not be what you're expecting. And this is Grasse d'Orient, and it's by Angelos Olfactive Creations, who is on YouTube as My Perfume Vlog. And he's a serious perfumer, but he actually, I think he started out vlogging, and so he is, you might say, he wouldn't call himself an influencer, but then neither would Peter. But he has a great Instagram, he has great YouTube, and he does these really vintage style fragrances. I think he's inspired by Caron. And this one is a beautiful iris, vanilla, carnation, spicy, very, very vintage. And this one came out this year, I think. So yeah, that one's Grasse. It's actually round the wrong way because the label's worn off. But it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So there, I picked two.
Sounds lovely.
Sounds so good.
It does sound good. Thanks, Claire. Barry, over to you.
Gravitas. Again,
What? No.
Everybody knows that.
Oh, come on.
I only own that one. I also own this one, Proxima, which I absolutely love. This is, I've described this before as like a fizzy, mixed berries and aldehydes, very airy fragrance, very summery. There's a mixed berry wine that I really enjoy, a rosé wine, and it reminds me of that every time I put it on, and it's gorgeous. I do enjoy Gaia, and I do enjoy Dendera, and I recently got Chambo, but that isn't quite up my street because the oud is a bit too much for me. But yeah, the only other two that I've tried of influencers are the Jeremy Fragrance, Date, and Office. Office was meh. Date is ultra mal, but other than that, I haven't tried any other influencers.
Thank you, Barry. Great choices as well. I haven't. I've not tried an awful lot from influencers at all. So yeah, I'm just going to bore everybody and put that there. Sorry, Dan, I'm not really. You're not really boring, but there we go. That's Gravitas is my choice because it's one that I've got to try and enjoyed, and also I'm very close and good friends with Matt, so obviously need to support him as well. So and Matt doesn't take any credit for it at all. He just stays in the background, and I think that's really, really nice of him. And I just really enjoy that fragrance. It's very me. It's very old school. I can see why Barry loves it so much because he's old, and I can see why Nigel likes it so much as well. I also got to try Date. I haven't tried much. I tried Date and I tried Office. But again, the same as Barry, not really up my street. I actually quite liked Office, but it isn't anything sort of really, really special. But I could see what he wanted to do with it and why he went down that route. But there we go. Let's move on to the next question. Everyone good? Yes? Everyone doing okay?
Well, aside from you insulting all the guests, Tony.
Right, well, look, it could get worse. I could really try and concentrate on doing it more until someone leaves, but that's luckily not my character. Right, let's move on to the next one. Question 5. This is a follow-up from the question, and again, this came via John. So thank you, John. So just get this right. No, we've done question 5. This isn't from John. Apologies. Who would you like to interview? Now,
what about question 4?
Skip 4.
I started my Mystery Guest Lives.
You've missed one out.
Have we done question? Sorry,
We didn't do
question
4.
Apologies. I've missed one out. Apologies. I'll go backwards. I've second guessed myself. This was from John, so apologise. So obviously we picked our favourite influencer or fragrance reviewer fragrance of the year. Now, who would you pick that hasn't released a fragrance in the industry? Who would you pick to release their own fragrance, and why? Why would you choose that? Why would you choose them, and why would you choose the fragrance they might release? So Nigel, over to you.
Well, I'm going to surprise a few people here because I'm going to be mentioning a guy who is a pillar of the community. He's a very quiet man, but he supports everybody. And the guy's got a cracking collection and cracking taste. And the guy I'm talking about is Scott at the Centurion. Because me and him, our taste, if we did a top 10, I reckon we'd probably get about 6 the same. Because so that's why he's got such cracking taste. And I would love for Scott to get some limelight. I'd love to just see what he would come up with and what direction he'd go with a fragrance. So, Scott, if you're in the chat, mate, I'm picking you all day long.
Excellent.
Nice choice. Nice choice. Tara, over to you.
I've picked Moody Boo, and I don't know if you all are familiar with her, but she has posted fragrance videos on YouTube for about 9 years now. And she was doing like niche stuff 9 years ago. So her experience and knowledge, I feel like, surpasses probably most people that are on YouTube in terms of fragcom. She's also hilarious. She used to be a bartender. But we also have very, very similar taste, which is another reason. She has a huge collection, like 500-600 bottles. And yeah, I think she has an impeccable taste. She's incredibly knowledgeable and she's just super fun. So I think whatever she would release, I would like, but also I think would have something like humorous to it that I would really enjoy. So she's my pick for sure. And if you don't watch her, you should. She's amazing.
Nice.
Well, that's my turn. Well, for me, when I seen the question, I was confused because I was like, I don't know, I've got no clue. And you know what was the first name that came to my mind? It's actually Claire. Like, sorry, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I would love Claire to do something actually. Because, you know, we have very different tastes with Claire. Like, you know, sometimes she likes, I think, a bit more feminine fragrance than me. And I would really enjoy to see what she come through, because usually what she enjoy and what she recommend, I enjoy too. And I think she's got really great taste, and obviously she knows a lot of stuff. So I would be really, really happy to see what you're coming with. But yeah, that's okay.
Great choice. Hillorie, over to you.
Well, my first thought was like whose videos I click on the second that they show up in my notifications. So my first thought was Killa, but I know that the fragrance that came out would be like Aventus with Green Irish Tweed Sauvage. But the name would be pretty Killa, I'm sure. So my second option then was My World of Fragrance. I am completely blanking on her name, but she has like, thanks. Yeah, she has an amazing collection. Like her niche and indie taste is just amazing. And I really just want to go smell everything she owns. Yeah, I feel like she would come out with something that was really unique. So yeah.
That's a good pick for sure. So before I say mine, I do want to say, I noticed that we got like 53 people in the chat, which I think is great. And just another quick, reminder that we're doing this for Make-A-Wish UK. So keep that in mind, everybody that's listening. And it's awesome that you guys came out to watch this. Really appreciate it. So for me, I don't know how many people know of his channel, Therapeutic Fragrance. His name is also Brandon, and he is also living in the same city that I am, in Portland. The guy is like a complexity spaz. I mean, like he's in the reason why I knew anything about Arige Lador, knew anything about Bloodline by Hans Henley. He really likes his fragrances intense and complex. And I think that he would put something super amazing together. I have my own ideas that perhaps he is actually working on stuff on his own just due to hints that he's dropped. So that he may already be working on stuff. So I'm hoping to see something from him in the future.
Excellent. Thanks, Brandon. Oh, Claire.
Okay, let me refer to my notes. So I did think, like Hillorie, I thought Sam from My World of Fragrance, but then I thought actually her tastes are quite different to mine. She likes lots of ouds and some of the more masculine stuff. So I thought actually Eugene from You Smells Good, because he's passionate about fragrance. He loves Guerlain massively, and he's very, very picky. So whatever he comes up with, I think as a creative director, he would absolutely insist on it being what he envisages. And I think he'd be awesome. I don't think he'd necessarily be up for it, but who knows? But I think he would be really good.
Great choice. Barry, over to you.
Right, before we start, Nigel, the whole description of the person was me until you said Scott. What's going on there?
The name just came out wrong, Bazza.
Oh, no, good choice, to be fair. I think mine would be Chris from Fragmental, and I know he's been working on one with Aaron Terence Hughes, which gives me a bit of trepidation because I've only tried 2 of Aaron's fragrances and I didn't like them. So I'm really hyped for a fragrance from Chris, but I just wish he'd done it with somebody else, if that makes sense.
Aaron's just
Barry,
left the chat.
yeah.
Yeah, I was looking forward to what he had kind of started to put together. What is it he called it originally? Smolder.
Holder.
Yeah, it sounded like it was going to be friggin' amazing.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
But he did say,
Well, there's
didn't
just
he,
something about the DNA, I think,
in
of
your
Aaron.
chat, he did say that's kind of been put on the shelf for the moment. So that now leaves him open to potentially work with someone else. I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, agreed. Barry, have you got anyone else, or was it?
No, that's
Chris?
it really.
That's the answer. Okay. Well, I just before I give my answer, I'd just like to thank everyone that's donated so far. Brandon, thanks for reminding everybody. You'd make a better host than I do. Plus, obviously, Luke's put in the chat that your maths must be better than mine as well. I didn't even know what question it was. But the good news is I set a target of £200, and we have surpassed that already. So
Yeah.
we've had 17 donations,
Nice.
and the total so far is £253. So
Excellent.
thank you so much to everybody that's donated. And if you still like to donate, obviously the target is a target. It doesn't mean anything. The more we raise, the better. So thank you very much to everybody that's donated. So great news. I thought I'd interrupt and let everybody know that. So thank you, everybody. Right. I'll be giving more details of the giveaway as we go through and what are we doing with that. But moving on to, I got my answer to this. So my answer, me and Bex answered this together, really. We had a little discussion because we were getting our answers ready as we were getting ready for the stream. And we both came up with 2 people. And apart from Chris, obviously, I would love Chris to make a fragrance, but like Barry, not with ATH. Let's move on from that. My 2 that I'd like to pick are in the chat. And the 2 that I would like to pick are, Bex actually mentioned this first and I said, yes, agreed. And that is Clémence. She has amazing taste. She's very classy with what she likes. We seem to like some of the same stuff. She loves Grand Soir and she likes sort of richer scents, but she doesn't seem to like them too challenging. I never really see her reviewing anything that I don't think I would like. So I would love Clémence to do something, and I would definitely be buying that. And the other person is, you're welcome. The other person is Claire as well. And the reason I say that, Claire, is because I think our tastes do sort of align. You sent some stuff to Bex a couple of months ago now, and everything you sent her, we both fell in love with. You have amazing taste. We've had other chats about other fragrances as well, and I know that you really, really know your stuff. And the way that you pick notes out, and I don't think you get enough credit for that in the community as someone that really does know their stuff and know the notes, and you really have learned a lot about this fragrance industry. So I think that anything that you would bring out, you wouldn't do it lightly, and I think it would be something that would align with not just my taste but with Becca's as well. So that's why I pick you. You're welcome. let's move on to
Blushing.
question 5.
Baz, and me and you must have been honourable mentions.
Who would you? You were next, Nigel. I'll tell you what, you're in the top 25, but I'm not going to tell you whether you were number 1 or 25, but you were somewhere in there.
Great.
Right, moving on. Question 5, which is what I was trying to jump ahead to. Who would you, me and Bex have started a mystery guest live, which we've interviewed every single one of you in the chat, which you were all amazing, plus so many more. When I count up what we've done and how many people we've spoken to, it's been amazing the response we've had to that, to people agreeing to come on and talk to us. Especially people that we don't know as much sometimes as well, and they come on. Joe sent me was the last one, and he was fantastic. I don't know Joe well at all. I've not really spoken to him before, and he agreed to come on, and I thought it was fantastic. So building those relationships to me is more important than the content, if that makes sense. And I'd just like to ask you guys, if you could interview anybody within the fragrance community, who would it be? So over to Nigel.
Right, this is going to be my favourite question, and in fact, I've got 2 people. Now, when I think about doing interviews, I look into 2 different areas. What I want from an interview. Firstly, it's always good if you get an exclusive, a first, and for that, I have got my eye on. So be careful here. Rose and Jones. Now, Lizzie. Now, Lizzie, I know suffers with confidence, and she suffers with so much. She lacks confidence. So did John. I just think more people should get to see her talents, and it just needs that bit of confidence. And I would love to have her on my Friday Night Live, and she could rule the show. Just come out, Lizzie, and show us your stuff. And the other one is a member of the community, not a reviewer, but it's a person, because I like black and white in an interview. I don't want to be blowing smoke up someone's arse for an hour and a half. I want an edge. I want some good, some bad. And I think an absolute great guy to have on an interview is a guy who Smurfy knows well, is Rich Mitch. I would love to interview Rich Mitch, because I just think he's an honest guy, he's a knowledgeable guy, and he just tells it how it is. He's not scared, and I would love to have him. So, Rich, if you're in the chat, mate, I would love to interview you. And you, Lizzie. So they were the 2 people I would love to interview.
Nice. Good choices. For this one, I have picked Scentualise, and I'm not going to say his first name, but there it is. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name, but Oh, that's who you picked too? Of course, we're the same. But he wrote this book here, but also he does lives fairly regularly. And he is very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's very refined, but also he seems to like have a good sense of humor and even like make fun of himself. Like, he's very okay with that, even though he's sort of posh, kind of in his presentation. So I like his personality, and obviously he's a very knowledgeable person. And he seems to like have a good understanding of a lot of the like older classics. Like, he has a good knowledge of that. So I'd just be really curious to interview him and know him more personally, because he seems to be a little bit private. So I would like to get to know more about him personally, but also just like tap into some of his knowledge he has about a lot of the vintage types of things.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Carla. That sounds an amazing choice. And Clémence, over to you.
So I didn't really understand the question, but I'm going to say by someone in the community, and also if I could, I would interview a lot of perfumers like Jean-Claude Elena that I would love to interview, but things like that I would love. But I was thinking of the obvious choice, just because I'm going to explain why before everyone is raging. But, I wanted to interview Jeremy Fragrance, because so I've talked to him already a few times, and I can see that he's not really the image that he wants to give usually, and he's a really interesting guy actually, and he's quite knowledgeable in what he's saying, and I would love people to see that is not really the image that it shows, but really that there's something big quite behind. So I think that would be quite interesting. And I would also have a lot of questions because we need to not forget that it's the one that opened the way for every one of us. So into the fragrance are now more popular because of people like this. So, you know, like, of course, like, he doesn't do things like everyone would like sometimes, but I do think that we owe him quite something. So I would be interested to see what he's going to do on things like that. So yeah, that's my choice.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologise, Clémence. I'll go to Hillorie. Great choice.
Well, I also picked Dariush or Persolaise because I love how he's always interviewing other people, and you know, he is rather private, but I would, you know, I think it'd be cool to get to know him more. And like Tara said, he has a really good sense of humor, even though he does seem very sophisticated and everything, which I'm very much not. But he understood my channel name the second he read it, and I was like, okay, you're my favorite. So yeah, I didn't interview Dariush.
Great choice.
That's cool. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. So for me, I've actually, since I started my YouTube channel, I've been trying to get, so there's two people, I guess, that I'm going to mention. I've been trying to get, there's a shop here in Portland that's called Fumery. And the owner, Tracy, she's super amazing. She, from the day I set foot into that place, like, she was super accommodating and just started throwing fragrances at me left and right, and try this and try this and try this. And she's super friendly, super wonderful. And I have been trying since day one of starting the channel to get her to do an interview with me, which she won't do. So definitely would love to have her because she's such a kind person and she's super knowledgeable. She's been in the industry for decades. So, but then also another Portland person, I really would love to interview Josh Meyer, the perfumer and creator of Imaginary Authors. Especially because I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but he came from a real estate background. And then he, out of a love of fragrance, created his line. I mean, that's to my knowledge. So again, I would love to interview Josh Meyer to, you know, to get down to the nitty gritty, find out and kind of pick his brain about how he came up with all those ideas. And because it's a pretty interesting and artistic fragrance line, in my opinion. So that's mine.
Good choices.
Nice.
That's
Okay,
fair.
I've got the cat on my lap, so there you go.
Can I interview Sweetie?
This is Sweetie. She's got a bit of a cold. I don't know if it's cat COVID, but her breathing's a little bit. So, anywho, the answer to the question: who would I like to interview? I've chosen two. One of them is Sebastian from Smelling Great Fragrances, because he's very private, and I think he has fantastic taste in perfume, real genuine passion, experience. Despite the size of his channel, he's just got to 100,000 subscribers. He still buys lots of fragrances for himself. I don't think he just takes freebies sort of here and there. I think he's very refined in his taste and very specific about how he does things. But because he's quite private and he's very gentle and calm and lovely, I would love to just get to know him a little bit better. And the other person is, I've forgotten, Victor Wong. I would love to get Victor, and Victor's another quite a shy person. Victor Wong of Zoologist, and I would love to just sort of dig a little bit deeper with Victor, find out a little bit about how he sort of came up with the brand and, you know, the whole creative process that he goes through. He's such a lovely guy. I've met him in real life, and when you look at Victor, I don't know about everyone else, but when I look at Victor, I just want to squeeze him. He's so cute. But I would love to get him on for a chat, really. Yeah.
Great choice.
Great choice. Yeah.
I would pick someone who's one of the most genuine people in Fragcom, and he never gets the credit he fully deserves. Well, until Nigel mentioned him 10 minutes ago. And it's Scott Centurion. I'd look to him. Plus, I need to get some green screen tips.
He's amazing, isn't he? He's green screen. So Scott would be an amazing person to interview. He's such an interesting character. Without sounding offensive to Scott, he's just like my sort of uncle or my sort of older brother, someone I really look up to. He's just got that real caring nature about him. I just love him. So Scott, keep being you. Great choice, Barry. He is a cracking guy. Right, mine are pretty obvious. Clémence, you wasn't the only one. I went for a bit of stardom as well and chose Jeremy. Now, again, for reasons similar to you, that I think that he would just make a very, very interesting interviewee. He doesn't really give much away about his sort of private life or who he is behind that camera. And I think there's more than meets the eye there. And I think that not only would he, obviously, from an obvious point of view, be very successful for any channel that got to interview Jeremy, but it's more to get to know this character. Is he who he is there, which I've heard there's a lot more to him. Clémence has had a couple of conversations. I've heard that too. I just think he would be, the questions that we ask on our Mystery Lives, I think that I'd be really interested to see how he would answer those questions. And if he went on, say, Nigel's live, the way Nigel picks things apart and he's able to politely delve into somebody, I think he would make a fantastic guest. And I think I'd be very excited to see that if Nigel, for example, ever had him on. I really would.
He would steer you away from what you want
pretty
to
obvious
know.
as well. Yeah, well, would he? Who knows? Who knows? This is what I find interesting about that. The other person I'd like to know is really, I think, a little bit more about. Yes.
Would you join in the shower first?
Stretching.
Stretching competition.
Oh, wow. Like together in the same room?
Sorry,
or?
let's move on.
I mean,
no,
let's move on.
No judgment here, but
it could be. It could be arranged. No, it doesn't actually. Let's move on. The other person is Demi, actually. I know Demi has people that really love her and she has some people that aren't so keen, but again, I think that she'd make a wonderful interviewee, and I think that she would come across on interview as, I'm not saying doesn't come across as a nice person, but I just think that we'd learn a lot more about her and people would have a lot more respect for her if we knew a bit more about her. So I would love to interview Demi as well. They're my choices.
Tony's just after the views then.
Barry. Right, I'd just like to give you an update before we move on to the next question. We are up to £363.
Nice.
We have a rather large donation. Now, I don't like to make people blush. This goes against what I'd like to do, but I'd like to say, I won't say the amount, but I'd like to say a massive thank you to Peter from Fragrance View. He's just made a rather nice donation into it. So, Peter, you are very, very kind. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody else that's donated so far. We've smashed that target. Keep donating. It's fantastic that you're doing this. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your good nature in doing this. It's fantastic. Let's move on to the next question. Question 6. This has been submitted from Hillorie. And Hillorie would like to know, what has been your favourite collaboration of the year? Now, Hillorie mentioned a video. I'm not going to say what it was, or series of videos, but I'm going to open that up a little bit and say it can be a live, it can be a video, it can be just an interview, it can be whatever type of video that you've seen where there's been more than one person in that video. So, Nigel, who have you picked? What have you picked?
Was this from Hillorie? Hillorie, can this include tags?
This was from Hillorie, yes.
Video. I think it just includes everything.
because the one I want to mention actually involves the majority of people in the chat. I don't know if you probably all did it in some state, and that is the 7 deadly sins. Are you allowed to count that one?
That's what I was thinking when I asked the question.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the one I was talking about.
Now, everybody did a fantastic job on that, and I watched every single one. However, I do have to point out there was one video that I would probably deem to be the video of the year, in my opinion. And he's sitting right below me now. Because I thought, Brandon, your 7 deadly sins video, mate, was absolutely off the scale, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
It would be a crime. It would have been a crime tonight if that video had not got a mention somehow. So I was desperate to get this in somehow. So, mate, well done. And for me, probably the video of the year. But
Thank you.
As a whole, all of you did a cracking job. Fantastic, brilliant. Everything was brilliant about it. Loved it. Next.
Thank you.
I hear Bucket grumbling in the background.
He is grumbling. Yeah.
Okay, so I also picked the 7 deadly sins. They were all fantastic, just like Nigel said. I loved everybody's videos. We got a treat in form of music from Andreas as well. Claire's videos, always hilarious. Hillorie's was hilarious. Brandon's was like cinematically fantastic. They were all great. I love them all. Scott's, Barry's, Tony's, all of them. And Lizzie's, of course. And I'm sure I'm forgetting people. But I think the thing that I love the most about it, and this is the first time I'd seen it done, was that you guys did the rolling premieres. And so you could go one after another and just constantly be chatting with everyone. So it was sort of like a party. And it's the only collaboration besides the heavenly, I don't even know what they're called anymore.
They're virtues.
Yes,
virtues,
thank you. Those things I don't have. Thank you. Yeah, so besides the one that we did, those are the only 2 I've ever seen like that. So I just think it was so fun and, made it like a party for everybody to just kind of enjoy and celebrate. So that was well done. I think Claire, put that together to start, and what a fantastic idea. So yeah, I loved it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thanks, Ara.
For me, well, I'm gonna not say the same thing, but for me that was, I think I'm cheating a bit actually, but I don't mind for that. To be fair with you, I don't watch a lot of videos because, to be fair, like I just like my life before, like 1 month ago, was only fragrances at day and night, so I had to make a stop like for the evening. But from the few that I've watched this year, I think my favorite one was a collaboration with the fragrance apprentice George and Chris. And it was a video where it was, I think, 30 seconds or 3 minutes, I'm not too sure, 50 words, 3 words to describe 50 fragrance in 3 minutes, something like that. And you can see just the voiceover of Chris in the video of George, and just the voiceover of George and in the video of Chris. And it was just very clever and very smart. Like, he would just pick one fragrance, say 3 things about it. And it was all very clever, all very funny. And I thought it was just fantastic. I love anything that is smart and at the same time very fun. And I absolutely loved it. I rewatched it a few times. The same for Chris's version. So for me, that was the best one of this year. I loved it. Voila.
That was good. I really like that too.
So I obviously love the 7 Deadly Sins videos. Brandon's was great. And then also the Virtue one following that up. And then there was also a collab that, what's her name? Curly Sense did with, what is his name? Carolina Fragrance Reviews and Chris and Fragmental. And they were like battling for a date with Curly Sense. Did you guys see that video?
Yeah.
It was so silly and random, but yeah, that one was really good. Yeah, and there was also a video that Chris and George did together, and all I remember is like Chris bringing cookies to visit George. I don't even remember what the video was for, but I think I just really wanted cookies, so that resonated with me on a very deep level. So yeah,
that one was good too. Yeah. Kind of rolling theme. So, I mean, I don't remember, because 2020 has been nuts. I don't remember if they did it this year or it was the year before, so I will mention it. We can use it maybe. The Neanderthal videos that Chris and George did, the light and the dark. I mean, just stellar. Like, blew me out of the water, the whole way that they did those videos, the way that they were kind of swapping each other's personas and whatnot. I thought that was fantastic. And then also, yeah, definitely the 7 deadly sins, and then rolling over into the 7 heavenly virtues. Not just because, you know, I ended up doing the 7 deadly sins because Lizzie tagged me, or because I got invited to do the 7, you know, heavenly virtues, but they were amazing. Like, yeah, like Tara was mentioning the fact that it became this like party where you just, everybody hung out and you rolled from video to video to video. It was like a pub crawl, but, you know, it was with fragrances, and it was a fantastic idea. And I'd love to see more of that. You know, I'd love to be a part of more of that, but I'd also like to see more other, you know, like other groups of reviewers do it as well. Like maybe like an all Aussie version, you know, like Top Note and Pep and like everybody from, you know, Australia, I think would be great. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Next.
Claire.
Yeah, I'm going to go with actually, I'm going to go. So I was thinking of all the lovely collabs that I was part of with the virtues and the sins, but we've kind of covered that, and I knew that we would. So I've gone with John and Lizzie's. They did a Gallivant series.
Oh yeah,
and
Looks so good.
Awesome.
What I loved about that, so John scented snowdrops, Lizzie from Rose and Jones. What they did is together they explored the whole line of Gallivant fragrances, and one of them would start the video with their own experience of the fragrance, and then the other one would reflect on what the other person said, and then say their own thoughts on the fragrance. And it was really interesting to see the different perspectives, how maybe one would pick up orange where the other would pick up lemon. But it was just, it just goes to show that we all get different things from fragrances, and that no one's right, no one's wrong. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they have mild disagreements. I don't really get this, but and it was just brilliant. I really enjoyed that, seeing different perspectives. So I really enjoyed that series, and I'd sort of recommend, if anyone hasn't looked at those videos, to go and have a look. On Lizzie's channel, Rose and Jones, and I think John posted them on his Instagram as well. So send it to Snowdrops. Go and have a look at their different perspectives on Gallivant, and I think they might have something else planned, hopefully for the coming year. So yeah, I really enjoyed that collab.
Me too.
A fab collab.
Yeah, that was a really
fab.
good one.
Absolutely fab.
Sorry.
Yeah, I agree, Claire. That was a brilliant collab. I've got to mention Sins and Virtues, and I will actually mention John Scented Snowdrops because Tara missed him out. How dare you? He was brilliant, and he just ended most of it off just going up to Instagram and finishing on there. It was brilliant to like mix YouTube and Instagram together. I also enjoy when we do the UK Frag Lads, when we pick a house and we go through the samples. I think that's great when we do that. I think we've done 3 different ones now, and there's more of those to come in the future. I just love my Sunday afternoons watching Tony doing his interviews with different people. I think when he has a week off, it's very disappointing because it ruins your Sunday. So you're going to have to stop having a week off.
A little bit.
But yeah, there's been so many, isn't it? There's been so many. I've really enjoyed this year. This has been my first year in the community, and I've absolutely loved it.
Thanks, Barry.
Beautiful.
That's really nice of you. Thank you. My one, I think, is one of the biggest ones of the year, I think, and this is for quite obvious reasons. And I don't want to make the person blush in the chat, but there is one other person involved that's in the chat, and there's one person on the screen, and that is Nigel and John's live that happened. Now, that night, I think something happened in the fragrance community, and I'm not overstating that. I think it put a lot of things into perspective for a lot of people, and I think that the people that are in the chat really felt that, really felt it. And that caused a ripple effect into the community as well, because Ant did an amazing 24-hour live stream, and that's got to be mentioned as well because of that. And the people he had on pouring their heart out as to what their stories were, which I thought was just so open and honest. And the money raised as a result of Ant's stream, and Chris and Steve, they went on to St Geeks and they raised money for mental health because of that. So the ripple effect that had was huge, and it's still being spoken about now. Brian's doing something with mental health with his giveaway. So I would like to thank you, Nigel, for doing that, and also a huge thank you for John for being so open and so honest and so sort of poured everything out. And I just think that was amazing and big thing for the community this year. So thank you, Nigel. Thank you, John.
It was down to John. It was John. It was his choice. He didn't have to say anything. It was, for him, he was so brave, and I just listened. So thank you, John.
Nigel.
It was
no, you didn't just listen.
Nigel, so you take some more credit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You're superb, Nigel.
All right, that's enough now. My head's getting big. Let's move on before I start going red and I look like a tomato.
Right. Moving on to question 7 then. We're getting through the questions nicely. Question 7, let's make it a bit more light-hearted. Sorry to take that somewhere. But question 7 has been what has been your favourite funny video of the year? So what video have you found funny, hilarious, amusing? Nigel, take it away.
How many are we allowed? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right,
not 10.
I've got about 6 here. I've got about 6 here. So what I'm going to do, because I'm thinking some of these are going to get mentioned by you guys. So I'm going to mention a guy who he never fails to make me laugh. He's one of the funny guys of FragCom, and he was my latest guest on my live, and that's Steve Frags to Riches. He's not had a mention tonight, but he's had a fantastic year, and the video I'm on about was called the top 7 fragrances to include in your fragrance list video. And if you haven't seen it, it's like he's sat at a computer screen and he's got a voice telling him how he should review fragrances. Chris from Fragmental's in it. I can't explain it. You just have to go and watch it. But the guy's a legend. He is a stand-up comic, and he makes me laugh every single time I see him. So I wanted to give him a mention tonight because he's had a really good year and he deserves more credit, I think Steve does. And so I'm going for Steve Frags to Riches. Next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton. Like I said, Claire always makes me laugh. Lucas Poe and Scentualise, like guaranteed rolling on the floor laughing for every one of their videos. But the one that I've picked for my favorite funniest is Andreas from Service Fragrance's Frag Guy video, where he wrote lyrics to Bad Guy. Or is that what it's called? Yeah, I think. And it's all about fragrance, and it's hilarious. A lot of his songs that he does on his videos are amazing, but I've just watched that at least 10 times since he put it out, and I still laugh when I watch it. So that one is just epic. And if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It's so funny.
Okay, so for me, I mean, I didn't watch that much neither, so I didn't have that much choice, but I directly thought of Fragrance Burst, American reviewer. I absolutely love what he does. He always makes me laugh because he's very honest, and sometimes he just says things like out of the blue, and I think he's hilarious. And he's hilarious in all of his videos, to be honest, but there was one video that really, every time I talked to him, I mentioned that because it was the video where he was complaining about the boxes of fragrance. So he was saying that boxes that you open like that, he constantly break them. So at the end of the video, it was like just throwing bottles out, and he was like, raging about it. And I was like, oh my God, it happens to me all the time. So I was really dying. I was laughing so much. And now I think I call him like Mr. Box, Mr. Review Box or something, but he's really, he makes me die this day. It was amazing. Voila, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my favorites were just like Tara said. Andreas is so freaking funny with his Frag Guy video. Pretty much any song he does is great. And then I did a Halloween video, and Tony and Bex did the Tiger King. Just Bex looking her mustache. I mean, I slid out of my chair when they sent me the previews. Yeah, wow, it was really something. And also, Chris from Fragmental had sent a video for that same one, and it was like a spooky thing, and he's running through the woods, and he's like, something's here that shouldn't be, or something. It's like the snot is coming out of his nose. It's like actual snot. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a 5-year-old boy when it comes to comedy, I guess. So that's what it is.
Yeah, Beck's doing the whole Carol Baskin thing. I lost it. I think I ugly snorted laughed when she did that. So it's great. For me, like one of the funniest guys in Fragcom like videos, and I know that he doesn't do as many videos as I'd love to see him do, and he's criminally undersubbed, and that's definitely Luke. As much of a asshat as he is, Luke. He's hilarious. I love his videos. I love his sense of humor. I agree with you guys about Severus. Like Andreas's videos are so funny. I mean, the heartfelt ones are obviously heartfelt, but like the comedy ones are just I die. And not to toot Chris's horn continuously, but he has that forgive me for saying so, that dry British humor that for whatever reason is just something that I've latched onto since I was a kid, Monty Python style. And he does some really hilarious stuff in his videos, but also like Hills, you were saying with the, the 5-year-old humor, I would say Mark from Aussie Fragrance Reviews. He's
his butt.
him and I both took part of a Hidden Gems video, and I thought I was being a little bit weird with doing, pulling one from the nether region, as it were, and he took it to a completely different level. I mean, he pulled like a necklace out of there and everything. So he's a hilarious guy. So yeah. All you, Claire.
Oh yes,
thanks.
Me. Yeah, I've actually put down Brandon's Virtues video because I don't know, it was brilliant and funny in so many ways. It's difficult to remember all the ways it was so funny. The way that you got darker and naughtier and more evil throughout the video, your nail color, or everything that you did to change. It was just hilarious. It was brilliant. And Chris from Fragmental, he did a video with his 2 little girls. It was kind of cute, funny. It was super cute. I'm sure you all saw it. They reviewed Gourmand Sweet Fragrances. And it kind of like the title, I think, was slightly misleading, like Girls Rate Sweet Perfumes or something like that. I can't remember. But it's 2 little girls. And their comments and their faces are so expressive. Like, they're just like so funny. The whole thing, I just loved it from start to finish. But in a very cute, fun way. But yeah, I really like those. That's me. Over to Barra.
Yeah, raspberry and vanilla actually got 100 out of 10 in that video, which was brilliant. I mean, I love watching Brandon's ace, but the one video that got me and had me absolutely howling was his bee video. And he had some B-roll footage of the bottle, and you've got him running around in the background in a bee costume with his dog chasing after him.
Yes.
And it was amazing. It just had me absolutely cracked up. So it was the Tony and Bex one. I thought that was brilliant with the Carol Baskin, and she needs to get involved in more videos, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. There was a couple of the Killer Frags videos. Oh my days! When he goes to it and he does his editing, absolutely amazing. And
The Aventus and
hilarious.
Sauvage one.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing! But even when he like tries to make like Virgin Island water out of drink, it's just like, what are you doing? This is
That's
mental.
great.
And then the last one, which had me in hysterics, was Chris Fragmental when he did the 2 clones. He had a clone of himself alongside himself, and that was just amazing. And it must have took him ages with all the shadows and that from the sun. It just must have took him absolutely ages to it. And it was hilarious. Yeah, that's me. That's me done. There's probably loads of mistakes, but
there are so many funny videos. The one Chris came to mind, actually, the Halloween video he did with his girls, and someone clearly walks
with the
past
Batman at
camera
the
and
end.
catches them in the costume, and his girls do a runner and leave him sat there, which I thought was just, that made me die. But that was a very, very funny video.
Tony, the person that caught him was a mental health nurse. And there he sat as dressed up as the Joker in the woods on his own. Just brilliant.
Brilliant.
Oh, just a little hello. Because he's annoying me. Oh, he's annoying me.
He's so cute.
I've also got to mention Steve as well, and Steve from Frags to Riches. The video that really stands out, and it makes me laugh every single time I see it, and I've seen it a few times now, and he reposted it recently again, was where he's trying to imitate Chris run towards the camera. That was hilarious. If you've seen that, made me die. It makes me die every time I see it. But the funniest video, and I think this is by far the funniest video, and it's going to sound like I'm sucking up on a fanboy here, but I am, is Claire's Virtue video. So the reason I say this, because it literally, me and Bex watched that together, and we literally died all the way through. The humour, starting off, this is meant to be angelic and lovely, and she starts off in the bath with bubbles on her, and then it moves on to her speaking very slowly and very sensually, and then she's dressed. Then she comes on the screen dressed as an angel, which was just hilarious. And the bit where she says, "Do angels wear knickers?" and she sort of flips her skirt. So I'll let you decide. That was hilarious. And the one of the funniest lines in Francom is, "This smells like frigidity." was just classic. And those bloody wings at the end as well. Just literally, and bumping something and then laughing at herself and says, "Oh," whatever she says, and then angels don't swear. So that, for me, I've just picked a few of the moments, but there's other moments that I picked out through that I know Claire's humour, that she threw loads of innuendos out there. I just thought that was hilarious. So thank you, Claire, for that. That made me die all the way through. Very, very funny video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Right. Moving on, then. We're getting through the questions nicely. Well, just with people in the chat. Sorry, Barry.
We've still got plenty of time, and Nigel's got number 5 he wants to mention.
Some of them have been mentioned, but there was one from Chris, which had nothing to do with his actual video, but his bloopers. And that was the Le Mal Parfum, where he's dressed as a sailor. And he had all these people coming up to him, and he said he had a channel to do with Nautica or something, didn't he? Did you not see that one? And he's got people in the background just not wanting to move, and he's talking to the camera, but it's the bloopers rather than the video. But I have to mention Chris because he's a funny guy, isn't he?
Dude, he's got some cojones for dressing up like that, just randomly on a dock.
I know.
You know, with the rope and everything. That was so
got some balls, hasn't he, doing that?
Yeah.
Everyone walking past him. Right, next.
Excellent. Thank you, Nigel. Let's move on to the next one. Right, question 8. What house has been your favourite discovery this year? So what fragrance brand has been your favourite discovery of 2020? So what have you enjoyed the most? Nigel?
Well, mine's really come very late on in the year, because I wouldn't class myself as somebody who follows one particular house. I'm all over the place. I've one from here, one from there. So I don't really follow houses. But because of Tara, because of Jon Snow, I got Angel Share. And because I got Angel Share and I really liked it, I then got a sample of Straight to Heaven. And all of a sudden, I love that. So now that is on my hit list. So I would say 2021, I'm going to be looking forward to trying a few more from Kilian. Now, I am so far behind. I'm so yesterday. People were doing Kilian back in 1900s or whatever. I mean, but for me, 2021, I'm going to be exploring Kilian. And
John's going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is going to be happy.
Maybe not my wallet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, they have struck a chord with me.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, Tara.
All right. My favorite
a
house
chord.
discovery this year was Ducita. And I have two. I have like the two bookends currently. I have her very first fragrance and then the most recent release. This is Asara. And Asara is probably my favorite perfume of all currently. I love it. It's like this sort of like, it's earthy. There's oak moss and tonka and vetiver. And it's just a really, I don't know, like it's kind of this scent that embodies my personality. It's like not too, not too like over the top with anything, but at the same time, it's like just very deep. God, I love that one. But anyway, so that's her first one. And then I've smelled all of them, and there are many I like. Oud Infini it's not one that I would wear, but it's just a masterpiece. But then Moonlight in Chiang Mai is the most recent one. And it's another one. It opens like with yuzu and, oh, geez, the whole thing just came off. Well, that's not good. Put that back in there. Jeez. Okay, that's better. Yeah. So this one's like it's actually a little bit maybe more masculine, but it's just another great release from her. It kind of the opening smells. It's yuzu, but it kind of has like an appley kind of feel to it. But I love them both, and I love many fragrances from her collection or from her line. And she seems like a really kind person anytime I've seen her do lives and things like that. So Ducita is definitely my favorite discovery of the year.
Yep. Okay, so that's my turn. So I would say there's quite two, because there's one that's quite obvious, which is any fragrance from Initio. I mean, I discovered later in the beginning of the year, and I absolutely adore any fragrance from Initio. There's Rehab, that's this one that I really love at the moment. Very lavender-like, like very soothing and cloudy. But I love Atomic Rose, Psychedelic Love, Side Effect, Food for Greatness. Literally, I love them all, and my wallet doesn't like that. But really recently, I discovered L'Orgia Parfum. So it's a very high, luxurious French brand. It's very refined, and you can really smell a really high quality of ingredient. That's what I like in there. But they're pretty intense, and all of them are very creamy and thick kind of fragrance. So I've got the musk one, which is very marine and fresh. There's another one that I want to get, and it's called Ambre Platine, and I've got a massive crush on that. It's basically like a very ambery fragrance, but kind of sweet and milky again. Oh, it's so, so beautiful. They've got also a leather fragrance that it's absolutely stunning on men. Nearly like a leather jacket with a bit of tobacco is absolutely beautiful. But they've got really a range that it's absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend to try L'Orgia Parfum. Yeah.
Good. Great choices.
Um,
On to Hillorie.
So sorry. So there were a couple of houses that I finally got into. Oh my gosh, I totally just blanked on them completely. Okay, 4160 Tuesdays. I know everybody's talked about them forever, but I got a sample just on a whim of what I did on my holidays, because I couldn't imagine what this fragrance smelled like, what these people were talking about. And as soon as I put it on skin, I was like, I'm buying that right this second. And then I also have rhubarb and custard from them, and I have smelled quite a few, and now I just want to keep smelling more. And yeah, I've forgotten everything else. Oh my gosh, the House of Matriarch. I I smelled a few samples from them when Yara sent samples from New Zealand, and yeah, I basically want them all, and I'm gonna be broke.
Fantastic. Thanks,
Yeah,
Brandon, over to you.
I think for me, last year and the year before, I kind of checked out some indies. I think this year's been really, for me, it's been all about independent perfumers. And there's so many that I've, discovered. Obviously, Centauri, definitely January Scent Project. Love everything that John did. Henley perfumes. Just there's so many different ones. But I think the one that stood out the most for me, just because of how visceral of a reaction I have, emotionally and kind of cosmically, I guess, would be Francesca Bianchi perfumes. Just lots and lots of feels when I put that on. So and pretty much all of her entire line, I absolutely love. And none of them I hate, none of them I wouldn't wear. So I'll go with Francesca Bianchi. And actually, I'm pretty sure I have Claire to thank for that, because Claire mentioned her in a video, and I was like, oh, I got to check that out. It might have been actually Sticky Fingers. When you got the sample for Sticky Fingers, I just said, screw it. And I went and blind bought the whole bottle. And then it was just boom, boom, down the rabbit hole. I've got like 6 bottles now. So your fault.
You know what? I love, Brandon, that you saw me and you said, screw it. And down the rabbit hole you went.
Brandon's going down a rabbit hole.
Oh, goodness.
And you got sticky fingers.
Oh,
I always have sticky fingers.
Oh, goodness, Claire.
Love it. So there's been one house that's been a major thing on my radar. I'd kind of heard of them prior to 2020, but there was a couple of people that highlighted the brand this year. Christy she's got a Facebook group and an Instagram account called A My Soul, and she is an absolute fragrance fanatic, really fantastic at reviewing and talking about fragrances. She highlighted some fragrances from Thierry Reinfeld, and also Wafts from the Loft talked about a couple of fragrances from Thierry Reinfeld, and then that kind of pushed me, and I'd already kind of heard about the brand, and I finally made the plunge, because ordering from Australia, a slightly expensive indie brand, was, you don't do it lightly, but I just got a little bit of a shove there. And yeah, Thierry Reinfeld Natural Perfumery from Australia was the absolute highlight of 2020 for me. Fell head over heels in love with Embers and pretty much everything I've tried, and I've tried quite a few now. They are, to me, they're all outstanding. They're amazing. You go on a lovely scent journey. The ingredients are so beautiful, and the problem is it does spoil you, and it spoils you for normal perfumery, and that's the only downside. But I'm just happy that I found this one particular perfume brand. I don't know that she'd call herself a brand. I mean, this tiny little one-woman band, really, but absolutely stunning perfumes. And then, to back that up and to back up Brandon, Francesca Bianchi, absolutely amazing perfumery. I've just literally today received my bottle of Tiger.
Nice.
I've been clicking the tracking button for 2 weeks. Postal services have not been great at the moment, as we all know. This is my scent of the night, Tiger. I love it. It's a beautiful white floral, vanilla, rich, resinous, sweet, special fragrance. So yeah, Francesca Bianchi, I ordered one of her Sublime body oils this year as well. And I've also now got Sex and the Sea Neroli that came with this. So Francesca Bianchi, I think she's amazing. I don't necessarily feel like I would wear everything that she does, because some of them are a bit more animalic than I would go for. But everything she does, it's special. It takes you on a real journey. It's multi-layered. There's so much to it. And yeah, so Francesca Bianchi, absolutely stunning fragrances from 2020. Done.
Claire, don't forget, when you do the review of Tiger, you got to get Tony's toy suit. If he hasn't given it away already. Or is that tucked away in the bedroom, Tony?
That is gone. Literally, I'm not joking about this. That got thrown straight in the bin straight afterwards. I ordered that special, and then no one believes me. And then it got thrown in the bin. Beck said that she wouldn't be happy to see me in that, so off it went.
So why have we changed positions? I mean, I'm all for it, but why?
Clemens dropped out accidentally, but she's back. So
yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I was playing with the phone, so I didn't follow. Sorry. Yeah. So what's up?
I think it's Barry's turn.
Who prefers it on top?
Huh?
Easy, Barry. Easy.
What the fuck? Sorry.
Tessa Williams.
Easy, Tiger.
Tessa Williams managed to pick up Faith, Fair and Hope, which are very apt for this year. Faith and Hope especially, as we need it moving into 2021. Another house that I discovered, which I thought would have already been mentioned, and maybe Tony will mention it, is Hudson's. Hudson's 1, 2 and 3, which are a barber shop in Hertfordshire. Sorry, Tom. They're brilliant fragrances, absolute quality. And then, I don't know if she's still in the chat, but I've got Mia to thank for getting me onto Byron. There's Black Dragon, which I picked up after she sent me a sample. Picked up the Chronic after Tony sent me a decant. And I've just bought off Nigel Mula Mula. And I want to get Mula Rouge Extreme as well. So I'm really enjoying Byron at the moment. And they perform really well for a niche. I'm surprised.
Good.
Thank you. And thanks for mentioning one of the ones I wanted to mention as well. Obviously, you've got great taste. We've got the main one. I mentioned this in our little chat, and I've discovered everything this year. Everything. My channel's quite new, so everything this year has been new to me. And the one that really stood out, and I think it was because it was locked down at the time. We could only order in. We couldn't go anywhere. Me and Bex ordered the Discovery set for Gallivant. And what really surprised me was we hadn't tried loads of niche, but some of the niche we'd tried was just a bit too probably mature for our nose. Our noses haven't developed too much. We haven't been smelling lots of stuff apart from designer. So anything niche that we smell just seemed to be too rich and too much for us. So when we tried the Gallivant stuff, virtually every single fragrance, we were like, oh, yeah, that's nice. And that's unusual for Bex. If you know Bex, you'll know that that's true. It's very unusual that she likes anything. So, virtually a whole range of fragrances. So immediately I wanted to buy virtually every one. So Gallivant for me has been a huge success. I've now got 4 of those fragrances, and my favourite is Istanbul. So that's been one of them. Hudson's is a second one. I've got Matt at Question and Sense to thank for that. 001, if you haven't tried it, I've just got a small bottle there. I do need to get a bigger bottle of it. This is insane. It really is. For the money this is, what a fragrance. Unbelievable. And then also I picked up recently the new one, 003, which I don't know if you've seen my review on that, but that is another cracking fragrance. So yeah, Hudson's for me. And then the two lads that have sort of supported me throughout my whole journey from the very, very start of my channel that I've got to mention are Matt from Pocket Sense. He has got some unbelievable fragrances coming out. I don't know if you've seen my video today, and original creations as well, which I'm so happy about. So massive shout out to Matt, and the other person that I managed to meet this year in the community, and that is Vitor from Rosa Salas. Now Vitor's got some original creations as well. He doesn't just do interpretations. And what I like about both brands are that they are both literally the most trustworthy, lovely guys that you could ever meet. And everybody says that about them. So those two fragrance houses that I've discovered this year, and they've stuck with me all the way through. And I'm just very lucky that they do both release lovely, lovely fragrances. So they're my 4 that I would like to mention. We're getting through quite nicely. We have planned to be live for roughly 2 hours. So we're getting about 20 minutes away from that, but we are moving through. We're on to question 9. Thank you again to everybody that's donated in the chat. Let me just refresh the screen. But last time I looked, we were up to £438. So
that's a lot.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, we've smashed our target. So again,
let's get
thank you
5
so much to everybody that's donated.
Yeah, take 5.
Plus, we've got
Let's
a
shoot
lot
for
to
5.
put in from the super chat as well. So thank you.
That is
let's,
so
let's I'll drop the link in the chat. Yeah, thank you everybody. So let's move on to question 9. This is the Scent scenario. So I've taken some inspiration from the Scent Geeks, and this is a rare situation that you're going to get to go on a date. You're single. You're going to go on a date with your celebrity crush, and you've got one chance to impress, because that celebrity is going to be dating a lot of people because they're a bit of a slut, and you've got that one chance to impress. And what are you going to be wearing? So Nigel, what would you choose to wear for your celebrity crush? And you can name your celebrity crush if you'd like to.
Well, firstly, I had to gain permission to participate in this question, and she agreed. So that was one great thing. Then the next thing, we spent half an hour together trying to find out who I'm allowed to fancy. So we came up with Saran Jones, right? Because some of the ones I was liking, no, too young. So Saran Jones. A lot of you Americans and that probably won't know of this. She's an English actress. So I've gone with her. Now the scent I'm going to go with is I'm going to have to be loyal to myself, and I've got to back myself up with what I said in my video. And I'm going with this. No one's showed this tonight, have they?
Gravitas.
Right, Gravitas.
Wait, what's that
Anyone
again?
heard of it? By Wilson and Norton. New release this year. Now, to me, this is a great date night scent. It does it all. It's fresh, and it has a creamy dry down. For me, it makes a great date night scent. It ticks all the boxes for me. It's got soft projection, which I think is important. And how many people are going to be wearing this? Not many. They can wear the Tom Fords and that. I'm going to be wearing Norton and Wilson's Gravitas. Bring them on.
You could do an advertisement for them. Literally.
I could be.
I'm going to wear Norton and Wilson Gravitas.
I've had some tips off Tony. He just failed them.
Very nice.
Gravitas, Paul Horn. New release.
Very nice, Nigel.
No man can be without it.
Oh goodness. All right. Oh, you're fine. So Nigel said, other people can wear their Tom Fords, which is exactly what I'll do on this date. I will go on a date with Norman Reedus. And I think, does everybody know who Norman Reedus is from The Walking Dead? And also from Boondock Saints. Oh my goodness, right? So he's like gruff and tumble, and and he's sexy, and he's like artsy too. And yeah, anyway, so that's my celebrity crush for sure. And I have chosen, because on our date, I'm sure that I'll be riding on the back of his motorcycle, since he likes to ride that around a lot. I'll be wearing something that he has to be close to me to smell, but is very sexy, and that is Tom Ford's Centaur blush. And I love this one. It has, you know, the creamy sandalwood. It has spice. It has like some benzoin, so it kind of warms up, and it's just so sexy. But yeah, it's like one of those that makes people want to be close to you. And so that's exactly what I would wear to get Norman Reedus to stay with me.
You will.
Yes. Oh, all right.
Have you
Let's
watched?
move on.
Hey,
I'm
awesome.
hot now. I'm hot.
Someone's all flushed.
Yep.
Really? Is that my turn after? Because I swapped position.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I can go with them.
You'll be off. Yeah, we were going to change
Yeah,
positions. You'll be after Barry.
Okay, you go, Barry.
Then want to let Barry come first.
What?
Claire,
I've heard,
come
I've heard
on.
that's quite the norm.
We're working
You
on
should
that,
know.
Barry.
You should know by now. I always come last. Anyway, so
Okay,
I had a bit
Barry.
of I had a bit of predicament because I had to pick someone that was dead so as not to offend the missus,
Oh,
and it's Marilyn Monroe,
Oh,
who was absolutely amazing. Now, I'd take her to a lovely restaurant. I'd make sure she went over some lovely air vents as we went in, wearing her white dress. And she would be
Is this a Meals
amazed
and Boon story?
by Barry Honda,
oh yeah.
Go on.
a nice boozy Nasamato. She will love this. And who knows? I might come first with that one.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know, Barry. She's dead now.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to get my head round it.
I think you're going to need at
I
least
definitely
half
will
an
then.
hour of that to cover the smell, bro.
I definitely will then, Brandon.
I think he could wear Secretions Magnifique and should be happy, mate.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
She'd be happy.
Come on.
Can we not go there? You're ruining my fantasy.
Okay, is that my turn now?
It's your turn,
It is,
Clémence.
Clémence.
Moving on quickly.
But first of all, my crush will be I don't know if you guys know Mads Mikkelsen. He's the guy that played in James Bond Casino Royale, and he also played in Royal Affair. So it's one of like my favorite movie, I would say. So I love the guy because I think I'm kind of attracted to guys that looks very cold for some reason. I don't know. I really like that type of personality. It really attracts me, so I love him. Anyway, so if I would go on a date with him, I've got a special combo. If you see me wearing that with you, you need to ask yourself question because I only wear that like if I really want to impress you. So I've got a combo actually. So I've got this first. So it's like a oud extrait. It's called Provocante and it's by Milano Oud. So I spray that only on the pulse point to have like something very strong, heavy, and it's not animalic oud. It's with some flowers, so it's quite nice. And then after that, I take my little designer scent. So it's a soft oriental. It's called Balmain Ecstatic. It's like a pear oriental scent, very easy to wear, but with the oud, you really transfer to something very, very sexy and very mysterious. And I actually had a lady follow me in the supermarket just because of this fragrance. She literally harassed me in the supermarket for that. So it does work on anyone, kind of. So I would definitely wear that.
Nice.
Thank you, Clémence. Awesome. Hillorie, who are we going for?
So my celebrity crush would probably be Julie Andrews. I don't care what age, all ages.
Wow.
Yeah, a total guilt. And I feel like I would want to. I would wear Lyra so I could smell like a cupcake, so she could just wrap me up like a little cupcake and lick the icing off of me. So yeah.
Whoa.
There we go. Yep.
Descriptive. I had a hard time with the celebrity. There's so many, you know. I mean, there's Charlize Theron, who's fantastic because she's not afraid to, you know, really alter her appearance for her roles. So she's a fantastic actress. Kate Beckinsale, who I've had a crush on for, you know, forever. Yeah, there's a lot. So regardless of the celebrity, I think definitely it would be Yasmina from Kajal Perfumes. And the reasoning for that is Yasmina is not an easy, simple fragrance. It's complex. It's got a lot of facets to it. It's constantly changing, but also kind of stays the same at the same time. It's hard to explain if you haven't tried it, but there's a lot of incense, oud, rose, jasmine, obviously. So it's a super, super sexy fragrance. So for me, if somebody that I was going on a date with couldn't get into the complexity in that and kind of the multi-layers, there's no way in hell they'd be able to handle me as a person. So yeah, just get them ready for the weirdness that is me, all the bullshit that you have to put up with. So it would be something nice and complex like Yasmina. So
Nice.
Okay, Claire, it's your turn.
It's me, is it? Okay, I don't really do celebrity. I'm not brilliant at famous people, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of TV and stuff, but I have just been watching Bridgerton. And I saw someone just mention Bridgerton in the live chat. And the Duke of Hastings.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Who is played by the actor Regé Jean Page. It's rather dishy. Very dishy, in fact. And he's only 30, and I'm not quite 30 anymore. So I'm going to go back to Tiger because I don't have a fragrance called Cougar. But it's a fragrance now. Tiger. And do you know what? It's sexy and it growls and it's like.
Oh my God.
Claire, I literally just bought that fragrance while we were on stream.
Really? Well, I'm older than you, Hills, as well. So, you know, I will wear it when we meet, and maybe I can be your cougar.
We'll do a bathtub live stream. It'll be glorious.
So, yeah, I just mentioned it earlier. Tiger. It's sexy, it's sweet, it's humming, it's growling, it's purring, and that's everything that I would do to get that young gentleman to hang around, at least for the evening. Done.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Claire. I don't know what to say. That was. I don't know how to follow that, really.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
See you soon.
This is fine, Tony.
Unlike the other well, unlike the other chaps in the group, apart from Brandon, that had to ask their missus who they could fancy, I didn't. I consulted with Rebecca, and she's like, "Who would you pick?" And I would pick. This is a private joke, by the way, to a few people, but I would pick Cheryl Cole. And the fragrance I would pick for Cheryl Cole is Sticky Fingers. That is a bit of a private joke, but that's not the real answer. I would
That's not
pick.
really private, to be fair. Sorry, but
No, it's not anymore. I would pick. I don't know if anyone's heard of her, but I would pick Maya Jama. She is a radio DJ. She's a very attractive young lady, a lot younger than me, so I'm very naughty. I'm a cougar as well, Claire. I would pick the obvious choice of I was stuck between two, actually. I was stuck between my obvious choices.
Gravitas.
I don't think she would have smelled it. I'm going to go with the she's a bit, I think she's too young for that brand. I'm going to go with the Chronic because I just think that anyone that would smell that would go, what are you wearing? And I think that would garner a compliment. Secondly, I'm going to go with 001 from Hudson's. I was stuck between the two, but I went with the faithful, the Chronic, and I think that would seal the deal.
Good choice, Tony.
Oh wow!
She's gorgeous.
Jesus!
Oh.
Tony, you better hide tonight because there's one at home that's not going to be happy. Jesus!
No, she agreed. She said she's got a crush on her too, so it's fine.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
3 ways a good way.
So it's fine.
What?
That was my choice, and yet look her up because.
Just saying.
Oh my god.
You can't blush at that, Clemens, because the French made it up.
I'm gonna listen. I'm having hot flush, so you guys stop. And I thought I shouldn't have hot flushes at my age, but fucking hell.
Oh my god.
Oh, I think it's done now.
I love that Brandon
Sorry, guys,
looked her up
I'm fucking
immediately.
boiling.
Sorry, Tony. I just, I gotta check it out.
I
I
love
know
that
what
you
Marilyn
looked her up
Monroe
immediately.
looks like. I'm not gonna look up Marilyn Monroe's corpse, that's for sure. But
Oh god, that's
Sorry,
funny
Barry.
for Barry.
Right, I'm going to move this on.
okay. Next question.
I'm going to move it on. Question 10. So our final question. This is, what fragrance would you pick? This is from Claire, by the way. So thank you, Claire. So what fragrance would you pick that sums up 2020? Have I got that right, Claire?
That's right, yeah.
Perfect. Right, Nigel, you're up.
It doesn't have to be from 2020, does it?
No.
Good. I haven't got many.
Gravitas,
Yeah.
come on.
Gravitas to get off. Right, I've gone for a scent from Costume National, and it's called Soul. Now, this is a very dark sort of scent. There isn't much brightness to it. We've got oud, we've got leather, we've got incense, we've got tobacco, we've got smokiness. We've got lots going on. Now, we've had to do a lot of soul searching this year, I think. But with this fragrance, if you look hard enough, you can find a shining light. Unfortunately, my wife can't because she absolutely hates this and won't let me wear it when she's around. But to me, men especially will like this fragrance. So Barry, if you like sort of dark fragrances, right, with leather and all like the manly stuff, the oud in this isn't too bad. There's actually ambergris in the center of this, but there is a shining light at the end. So I'm just hoping that next year we can somehow get back to normal, because let's be honest, this year has been pretty dire for most of us, and things have just got to improve, haven't they? We've got to improve. So soul searching. So my scent for this year, what reminds me of it is Soul by Costume National. Dark, look hard enough, and you'll get some light.
Excellent. So I don't have the fragrance that I picked, but I did review it. And if you watched my video, you'll know exactly how I feel. And I also didn't realize how much Tom Ford I was going to talk about today. But I picked Tom Ford Bitter Peach because although it has some like sweetness and pleasantness, it's mostly crap. It's just, I just couldn't get on with it. It's not for me. Yeah, it was like the fragrance that I was most looking forward to its release this year. It just kind of like how I think at the beginning of 2020, all of us had these big plans and lots of things we were looking forward to. And then it gets here and we're like, what the fuck is this? So that's kind of how 2020 has been for me. Like looking forward to Tom Ford's Bitter Peach and then smelling it and being like, oh, this is not good. So that's 2020 in a fragrance in my eyes. Thanks, Claire.
So 2020 for me. So it's come from the dark side. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
Blooming.
So this, it's a weird year. It's a weird bottle. It's a different fragrance to everything else that's out there, and it's probably the most different year that we've all had. So what better fragrance than this one?
That's my turn. Ah, no. That's brilliant. Okay, is that me? Okay, sorry. I couldn't think of a fragrance for this year to resume this year because, to be fair, like, I mean, for me, the beginning of the year was all right. Then it was crap, and then I couldn't see my family during a year, so it was mostly crap. But I'm gonna see them in 2 days, so I'm gonna cross the border, try to. So wish me luck.
Wow.
But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna use my French sarcasm for that. So I think my fragrance to resume this year will be from Tom Ford, and it will be fucking fabulous. That's it. Voilà.
Wow.
It's your turn, Hillorie.
Great, okay. Originally, I was trying to think of a fragrance that reminded me of a dumpster fire. But then I decided that actually this year wasn't all that bad. There were a lot of good things that happened too. So it was a very complicated year. So I went with a fairly complex fragrance that I hold very close to my heart because it came to me from somebody very special. And that is Belonging from House of Matriarch. This fragrance is really interesting. It smells different every time I smell it, but it has notes of like butter and plum, which sound effing weird. But somehow it makes this beautiful like floral with like dry woods and just intoxicating fragrance that I can't get enough of. So, yeah. Belonging.
2020 for me has been really rough. Not to bring the mood down to a sullen tempo, but it's been a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress this year for me, and it sucks. It started out great because everything seemed like it was pretty good. So for me, 2020 in a fragrance is Salted Green Mango by Stranger's Parfumery. So that one starts out with promise, with happiness. Those green mango notes are just fantastic. Starts out great, but then the disappointment kicks in, and I'm left with headaches and nasal pain, and I feel like I can't catch my bloody breath. So that is 2020 for me in a nutshell so far. Hopefully, what do we got? How many days we got? A couple of days to turn it around. I figure if I just drink steadily for the next 3 days, and maybe 2020 will stop being a pain in my ass. But yeah, Salted Green Mango. I know that a lot of people really love it. I know that it's, like I said, I wanted to love that fragrance so much because it started off so great. But the cologne that they use in it, it doesn't agree with me. That particular fragrance molecule doesn't agree with me. So it's no bueno for me. So there you go. Here's my last one.
So that'll be me then.
That'd be you, Claire.
Okay, so this one's it is kind of obvious in that this is what the perfume are meant to do, but it just really works. So I have gone for Bittersweet, and it's by Tierney Reinfeld, and it was her It was her scent sketch to 2020. It starts out quite bitter with it's like a really dark, bitter chocolate with no sweetness whatsoever. A little bit of orange, but it's very bitter. And then it gently sweetens up, but there's always bitter and sweet elements all the way through. And if you look at whatever's gone on in the world, there has been bitter and sweet moments through the whole of 2020. if I talk from a personal level, I've actually had a quite nice year because I met someone really special, and that has been a really major nice thing. But
Nice.
I've also witnessed the terrible things that have gone on around, but I've also seen communities rise up, and I've seen people helping each other, and I've seen people make the effort to try to be more positive and lift each other up. So you literally see the good and the bad, the good and the bad. It's like a roller coaster, and the fragrance really does represent that, with the bitter and the sweetness that come through. And I really do think she's done a wonderful job with this fragrance. It really does kind of sum up the year, and I hope that everyone's next year, with things hopefully changing a little bit and us getting on top of stuff, that everyone has a much better year next year. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Claire. Beautiful.
Thank you, Claire. Great choice. Great choices, everybody. Thank you. My answer to this is pretty lame, but there's a reason behind it. Now, the fragrance I would pick to sum up 2020 for me would be Aventus, but stick with me for a moment. So,
What?
so it's because there's I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with Aventus. I really am.
Don't be knocking
boring
Aventus.
me a little bit now. No. Listen, hear me out here, Barry. It's boring me. It's one of those things that's been overdone. It's been over reviewed. It's been over inspired by other fragrance brands, and it's getting a little bit tedious now. And that's how I feel about 2020 as a whole. There's been lots happen to a lot of people, and I want the year over with. However, there's a little shade of hope there. Like Aventus, I actually do quite like the scent profile of it. And there's a little glimmer of hope. It's also been the sort of the fragrance king of the community for a while, because it just seems to be the most reviewed, most searched for, that kind of thing. So the reason I pick that is because the nice part about it that a lot of people like about Aventus, it's mass appealing and lovely. And it's lovely like the community I've become part of. The community that has welcomed me in. Now, I started this journey with knowing zero people, knowing zero about fragrance, not even really knowing there's a community there. And when I joined Instagram especially, I found out quite quickly that there is a community, and there's some lovely people out there. And there was a few people that reached out to me to offer send me samples, and everybody is just willing to they seem willing to help each other, which I've not known in my lifetime, a situation like that where a lot of people help each other. So I have picked Aventus because it is a lovely scent profile, but I'm just a bit bored of it. I want it over with. But there is hope, 2021. And I will hopefully be picking a very different fragrance next year. So that is the reason I've picked Aventus. So thank you, everybody.
Nice.
Hallelujah.
So that is the final questions. We were going to do one more question. Now we can do this very quickly. We're going to do a quick fire answer to this, and then we're going to close out with a closing statement from everybody, which no one knows about yet in the stream. So, but what we're going to do quickly, Nigel, we're going to start with you. I know you said you don't know many female fragrances, inverted commas. We don't want to trigger people.
As in none.
I think you know. I think you know what Tara would like anyway. So how would you
angel share, so I can enjoy it.
Thank you. Excellent.
And Tara, on
Great
to
choice.
You. How would you send Barry?
Like that,
what would you pick for Barry?
I loved it. Thank you. And I'm going to do Nigel's job for him, and I'm going to pick Gravitas pour homme.
Gravitas for men.
Bloody
There you go. He's got it already. It's perfect.
Tara, we're going to go to you're going to go to Barry, so I want you to send Barry. So we're going to
I just did.
What, you sent Barry? I'm sorry. I thought you were going to Nigel. Apologies.
I passed my here.
Sorry,
You ready?
Tara.
You ready, Barry? I'm going to pass it to you. Okay. I'm going to pass you my bottle so that you can now wear Gravitas. You have it. There we go.
Oh, it's the magic of television, y'all.
Magic. And Barry, how would you scent Clémence?
It would have to
Don't say
be,
Gravitas.
I would say a Guerlain or a Chanel. Or that's probably what she wants me to say. So I'll go with Vicky Leon.
Oh, God.
And it's I love the way you taste.
Oh, wow.
Where did that come from?
I kind of feel like Marilyn Monroe is out of the
Oh,
picture.
Barry. Thank you very much. Ooh la la. Ooh, chaleur. I'm back again.
Oh my God. My
I'm
cheeks hurt.
boiling. Jesus. Is that my turn after that?
Yeah.
What was that one?
Hillorie.
Yeah, you got to
Huh?
say, hey.
Yeah, I have to do Hillorie, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
You would
for
love
me,
that.
I would...
Phrasing Clémence. Phrasing.
Listen, I had 2 cocktails and Barry is doing that. I'm like literally dying. Anyway. Okay, so I would say for Hillorie, I was thinking like, it's not funny actually. I was really thinking of it. I was thinking of Gentle Fluidity in Gold from MFK, Maison Francisque Urgent, because I'm explaining why. Because I think there's a lot of things that Hillorie does for the community that I really love to see this year. Especially I've seen like the video that you've done for Pride and things like that. That I thought was just really lovely to see things like that. I loved it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so comforting. And so I thought you need like a very, I would say, comforting fragrance, very cocoony. There's someone appearing next to me. And yeah, and very also feminine and very refined. And I think you're very beautiful. So I think that's perfect for you. Voila.
Jackie.
So Claire,
What's happening over there? What's she doing?
I don't know. It's frozen.
her battery might
Her
have
battery was dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
that it was. Yeah. So for Claire, it's easy.
It's me.
Hillorie has to send you first.
Wait.
Oh, that's
Slow
right.
down.
I'm sorry.
You come after her.
Yeah. Okay. So
Typically.
okay. So I was thinking, like for you,
Okay.
kind of like going off of the whole like 7 deadly sins thing. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Amouage Interlude Man Black Iris. It's so sorry. It's very like dark and smoky and leathery and gruff, but also has these like sweet and interesting characteristics in there as well. That yeah, it's just it's nice, but it's also really unique. And yeah.
Well, sweet. Sweet. All right, Tony, am I doing Claire or am I doing you? I mean, I can do both.
You are doing Claire.
Anyway, all over again.
I'm sure you
All
can.
right. All right. So Claire, yeah, it pretty easily. I mean, I could cop out and pick the what is the one she loves so much? The Mon Guerlain. It's the Miss Dior.
Miss Dior, yeah.
Right. That one's she has like all of them, so that one's pretty obvious. But because of because of how I fell into that fragrance, I'm going to pick Sticky Fingers because double entendre. So that's what I'm picking for Claire.
Beautiful. I think she's got no battery left.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think she's gone.
She keeps trying to pop
What?
into the stream, so I'm not sure quite what's happening. I keep trying to add her, and it then brings up the same picture as before. So I will try and add Claire again.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello.
Let's try again. Have we got any luck? Claire's worrying.
Oh,
Right, I'm going to send Nigel.
Easy, Tiger.
She is.
Easy.
No, mine's pretty boring, really. I'm going to go with a fragrance that I just think that you would like. I don't think you would have tried it.
No.
But I'm going to go with Danger from Roja. Parfums.
May have tried it a long time ago.
Oh.
So the reason I'm going to go with Danger is because you seem to really like the sort of fougere type fragrance, and what I think you'll love about Danger is that it's got this sweetness to it too. It's got this sort of airy sweetness. It's real good quality, and I just think that you need to get your nose on it, and I think that you would love it. I really do. So that is my choice for you. Danger. Very classy stuff, really classy stuff, but got a real modern twist to it, as well as being a gorgeous fragrance that I just really love. So that's my scent for you.
Great stuff.
Right, so if we can get Claire back in, we will.
Have we got a
she
running
said her
total?
battery's dead.
Have we got a running total, Tone?
Oh, yes, let me just refresh that for everybody. We have smashed the target. The last time I looked, we were at about £450. So let me just double check that for everybody. Let me just tell everybody in the chat how we're going to be doing the giveaway. So the giveaway is, there's 2 giveaways, and this is your chance to now take part in one of them. If you are in Europe, apologies for Americans. This is for Stuart Copeland. He has donated a book, and the book he has donated is from Neil Chapman Perfumes. It's a great book. I have it. And I would like to say thank you to Stuart for doing that. So if you are in Europe and you'd like to take part in the giveaway, if you could put a thumbs up in the chat now. That thumbs up is really important, because when I go back to it, I'll be looking at those thumbs up to know that you want to be included. And the thumbs up sign will allow me to pick a winner, and Stuart will get that shipped directly to you. So we've got roughly just 5 minutes left to get that thumbs up into the chat. Secondly, the second part of the giveaway was the £50 cash giveaway. And the £50 cash giveaway will be given via a PayPal account. That will be sorted out via the donations that have been given to the Just Given page. And I will basically run through those donations and pick someone, and I will be very transparent about how that's been done. And it will be done by a generator online, basically. We have smashed the target. I think we're at £457. So thank you so much to everybody. It's been an amazing stream.
Nice. Great.
Thank you so much to my rather cute panelists, including Finn there. Hello, Finn, who they've been amazing.
Sorry.
So thank you everybody for joining us.
Oh,
Hi, Finn. So,
Hello, Finn.
Nigel, before we close out, have you got a final statement?
I would like to thank you, Tony, personally, for setting up this, along with the invite. I feel very privileged to appear, and it's the first time I've appeared with quite a few of these. So I'm really pleased to have appeared with Barry, Tara. I've appeared with Clémence, Hillorie, and Brandon, and I have appeared with Claire. But so nice to get to know the people a lot better. So I think
My pleasure.
a lot of praise goes to you, Tony, for having the idea and setting it up, mate. So fair play to you, mate. I salute you.
Thanks, Tony. It was awesome.
Thank you,
It was
Nigel.
really, really cool.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, I just I
On to
completely
Tara.
agree with everything Nigel just said. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoyed being on with everyone. It's the first time I've been on with Claire, Barry, Nigel, and Clémence. Clémence and I have the same birthday. I just found out recently.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. But most importantly, I think it's great to like do something for people who really could use something positive in their life, and so I really appreciate that, Tony, for raising money for Make-A-Wish, and like this is gonna help to really make some little kid out there really happy. So I think that's great. So appreciate it.
Definitely.
Nicely said.
Thanks, Tara. Barry, on to you.
I'll belong. I've just got a little speech I prepared.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Tony, since you was a little boy, you dreamed of a day like this, where you could create a charity stream and get all these monies for all these unfortunate people. Congratulations, you have done it very well.
What accent was this? Sorry.
There's multiple accents, I think.
I can do multiple accents. I am multi-talented.
Beautiful. I cannot do any apparently, but yeah.
You got a great,
Okay.
great French accent.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the only one I have, but yeah, I can't get rid of it. It's a nightmare. Anyway, yeah, for me, like, I mean, the same as everyone. Like, thank you, Tony. I think it's a great idea, especially doing live and really like all the community like this is beautiful. And like, on a personal level, you really make my day. Like, I was really tired after work, and every time like I have a live like this where I can talk to the community, I finished that I'm so excited that I can't go to bed because I'm so happy and I had full of joy, and we laughed together and we learn to each other, to know each other more. And like I said, I don't have my family, so it feels really comforting to have this chat together. And especially seeing that it's going to such a good cause, like for Make-A-Wish. Like, I mean, it's amazing that you've done that, and we've raised really a lot of money. So like Tara said, I think it's going to help a lot of like kids. So it's such a great feeling as well. So definitely I'm not going to sleep, but yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Clémence. That's really appreciate that. Thank you. On to Finn and Hillorie.
Sorry, he's trying to show off all of my fragrances, and they're all breakable. But, yeah, I'm really glad that I got to be a part of this, just because obviously the Make-A-Wish Foundation is it means a lot to my whole family. And please don't drop that, for the love of Pete. Yeah, so it means a lot to my whole family, and I know to the lives of many children and families out there. So yeah, ditto everything else that I'm doing. So.
Thanks, Hillorie.
You clap?
Do you clap?
Do you clap?
Oh,
yeah.
I just want to say thanks for everybody in the stream that's been watching and that has supported and donated. And this is really, really great, I think, for everybody to have smashed through the goal, doubled it already. So I think that's awesome. I would imagine that by the time all is said and done, we may have tripled it, which I think is great. Thank you, Tony, for putting this on, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. I feel really honored to do something that's really this meaningful, and I was super excited to be able to get into this live with people that I've been on screen with before, but also that I haven't had a chance to. Clémence, this is like the first time I've ever actually really met you. Hi.
Hello. Nice
Hello.
to meet you.
But getting to do this was definitely a bright spot in my day, and this was really fantastic. And I urge everybody that maybe hasn't had a chance to check out the links to do so. After the live is done, and let's just keep the ball rolling. And I think it's a really great and fantastic charity for kids. So thank you, Tony, and thank you everybody that's been involved.
Thank you. Thanks, Brandon. Really appreciate everybody that's been on. Now, I would just like to say from Claire, really, that I know that She loves the community, and she's got a great group of friends, and that I know that she would have loved to have said her goodbyes and said thank you to everything. So again, massive thank you to Claire. I'm sorry your battery died, but massive thank you to you guys as well for coming on and agreeing to be part of this, because from my point of view, it's quite nerve-wracking. I was quite nervous before this, as you all know, and it's quite nervous to know that, number one, you want it to be a success. You want to raise a good amount of money. You want to give a good account of yourself. And I knew that would happen deep down because of you amazing people on the stream. So thank you to you all. I really appreciate it. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to everybody in the chat and everybody that's donated. I've been keeping an eye on the chat. I'm sorry we couldn't interact as much as we would have liked, but it's been on fire, that chat tonight. And thank you to everybody in there that joined and been a part of this, because it's been you've been awesome. So thank you to everybody in the chat, and also thank you to the brands that have built relationships with us this year, that reach out to us and help us create content. So thank you to every brand that's certainly been in contact with me. I'm sure other reviewers in the chat would echo that. And my fellow bean sprayers, #bean sprayers, thank you to you all. You know who you are. And also, I would like to make a special thanks to someone. Someone's been upstairs, probably asleep by now, and that is my special wife, Bex. She will be probably asleep because I haven't seen her in the chat for a while. But you all know that this is a rather odd hobby, and it's quite difficult for people to understand. And Bex, as you all know, has fully supported me in all this and really been behind me. It's not the cheapest of hobbies. It's not. It takes a lot of time as well, and she has been awesome in supporting me in this, and even got involved in it all and got to know you lovely people as well. So I just can't thank her enough for being so amazing. So thank you, Rebecca, for being you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, and the rest of my family as well. Phoebe's been amazing. She's helped on the channel. She knows I do this. She, I think, is quite proud really that her dad's on YouTube, because she's like every child her age. She's on YouTube non-stop. She loves it. So thank you to Phoebe. So listen up. Thank you everybody. It's been amazing. I've really loved the stream, and I can't thank you enough. I really can't. You've helped raise this money. So thank you to everybody. And here's to a much better 2021 for everybody, I hope.
Absolutely.
I really do, deep down. I really hope that. So unless anyone's got anything else to say, I think that's end of stream.
Beautiful. Thanks, everybody.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Bye now.
If the chat panel could stay there for just a moment, but thank you everybody that joined. It's been, I really appreciate it, and thank you again. I keep saying it, but I really do mean it. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you
Bye.
later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.